Hello there, welcome to Target Radio Podcasts. Yes, we have a podcast for your ears. Every week here on the show, on our live shows that is, we try and get an interesting persons, artists, band members, music, poets, film playwrights. We even get, we'll try and get everyone. We'll try and get everyone that's interested in our genre of music that we portray here on Target Radio. So what we do is sit them down, we have a telephone interview, sometimes a live interview, and we discuss all things in their profession. So stay tuned here. This one is an absolute blast. You're going to love this, and I'll be back at the end to obviously, tell you what's coming up in the very near future. I am the Podfather. I will now tell you that this is Target Radio Podcasts. Don't forget to check us out on iTunes, and if you think we deserve it, don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating. That would be rather nice. Thank you very much indeed. So, over to me. Sit tight and enjoy. This is Target Radio. 5
Sunday.
4 Sunday.
3
Sunday night.
2
in his Sunday best.
1
Sunday.
Go. You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
Dear God in heaven, please let this show go okay, with no major boobs or goofs, or is it goofs? Please don't let me tread all over the intros of records, or say a naughty word.
So let's have fun.
Hello, hello, and welcome to the show. Hello, 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 and welcome to the show.
Lock it on to the best station on the net.
First we take a groovy record, then we add a super sound DJ.
Oh, Sean Kerr. The big DJ. The big DJ.
When do I get my badge?
Well, if you're very good, maybe you'll get one for Christmas. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Target Radio. Cookie here at the helm for the next couple of hours. So nice to have your company here on a dark and cold Sunday evening. My many thanks goes out to Peter Slavid's Jazz Hour. I'll tell you what, when he first approached me, he said, do you want to play some jazz on the show? And I went, so glad I did. It's so different. Anyway, that was his part 2 best of. I think he needs a well-deserved break after all that fine music. And talking of breaks, this is the last live recording, or live show I should say, this year of 2020. I mean, it's been a spectacular year, hasn't it? Alright, don't all laugh at once. You can groan if you like. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, now Tier 4. I mean, maybe Tier 5 before the end of the month. What's that? I'm still confused with Tier 1, 2 and 3. Goodness me. Anyway, nice to have your company. As I said, we got some fine and dandy sort of Christmassy type music this evening. Not all of it, but some of it. We've also got a great guest. It's only took 38 years, but we've got him. He knows who I'm talking about, don't you, Bruno Gallone? I think that's how I pronounce his surname. I'm sure he's going to put me quite right around about 7:30 this evening. We're going to be talking to Bruno and find out about reaction and, his reaction about reaction. Well, I had to be the first to do it, didn't I? Anyway, music, the Deep Six, the Sha-La-Las, the Kinks, something from the Jam. We've even got something from the Ramones this evening. But as always, we don't start this show properly until we've heard something from... Go on, all together after 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes, The Who. And this one is entitled Christmas. and took from the Tommy album, and why not? Reaction now of another Sunday morning. Why couldn't it have been another Sunday evening, and I could have squeezed it in as a jingle? I'll have to have a word with the organiser here. Well, as it happens, I think I just might do that. Okay, here we go then. Right, pressing the buttons right now, and hopefully we should have Bruno on the other end of this. Let's wait, let's see if we've got any voice at the end of this. Is that Bruno Gallone?
It is, Sean. How are you?
I'm good, my friend. Hang on! It's not for you, it's for me, because I got it right. Oh, you can have it as well, Bruno. How are you, my friend?
I'm absolutely fine, thank you. I'm delighted to speak to you. I do listen to Target Radio, as you probably know, actually.
Absolutely, yes. And that check's in the post for saying that as well. Thank you. So we just heard there another Sunday morning. How about that? Why didn't you make it a Sunday evening? And I could have used it as a jingle.
Oh, yeah. Do you know what? One or two people have used it as a jingle, which is great, really.
Oh, fantastic. Unfortunately, I can't use it on my one, unless I obviously change the times and get up really early on a Sunday. Who's ever heard of that before? Right, and I've been doing a little bit of research on yourself, and obviously there's so much about you, the band, and all the bits and pieces in between. So what I've done was I just literally have a skim over. I always find that better, because obviously then it's a bit more free-flowing for you to talk about, obviously you, the band, and obviously the bits and pieces that, you know, generally are out of the papers and not there, you know, so we'll dig the dirt a little bit. Now, first and foremost then, you're the lead singer of, is it a four-piece band?
It's four-piece, Reaction.
There we go. Brilliant, lovely. Now, not to be confused with other bands of similar names, you are Reaction, not The Reaction. That's
right, yeah. We took the name many years ago from the... from the Jam song, you know, where it's all around the world.
Yes.
I need a reaction. I thought, well, there you go. That's the name of the band.
And then you went on to support them at a later date as well, didn't you?
We did. It's phenomenal, really. You know, the more you think about it, it was quite a big thing back then, you know, for a young band from Burton on Trent. But I don't think the enormity of the gig ever really sunk in till, I don't know, probably 10 years later.
Yeah.
Because the Jam treated us so well that it sounds a bit weird. They treat us like a normal band, another band. So I think we kind of took it in our stride a bit, even though we were enormous fans.
Yeah.
I don't think until, honestly, it was probably 10 years after you thought, blimey, the Jam were massive when we supported them. You know, I mean, they'd had two number ones that had gone straight in at number one.
Yeah, yeah.
That gig they were announcing Town Call Malice as their new single. And,
yeah.
And like I said, you know, it's only when people talk about it you think, yeah, wow, it was quite a big thing.
Indeed, but I suppose you took it with a pinch of salt being a band yourself, and then you was up there to warm up the obviously the Jam. You know, you done your thing, you done your bit, and what was it like for you guys though? You know, sort of a warm up for, you know, someone that's really well known. I mean, did you sort of like look at that and think, oh, well, it's a Jam, you know, whatever, you know, I'm here to warm up the crowd there, and they were really into it apparently.
Yeah, do you know what? There was an element of that. You know, I think that we supported Secret Affair, Purple Hearts, and the Jam were my thing. I was such a big Jam fan, and when we actually did the sound check, because it was a big thing with the Jam, where they let people in at the sound check. By the time we supported them, I think when we did the sound check, it was probably the biggest audience we played in front of until that evening. You know, so it was amazing. I can't. You know, you can't put any words apart from saying it was just a great thing to do, and like you said, we went down really well as well, which is quite unusual for some sport bands.
Indeed. Let's bring it up to date for a minute, then obviously we'll go backwards again, and we'll sort of do that. We'll sort of like go up and down the timeline and stuff. So there's a lovely, great black and white picture. I'm looking at Derbyshire Live at the moment on the. Yeah, it's a great feature actually. I've read it a few times, and you know, just got to grips with it and everything. Now the four of you there, obviously, it's mod all over, but apart from the guy right at the other end with the real long hair. I mean, who's that? That's not you, is it?
No, that's Dave. I'm on the left-hand side. I still got the same, people say. I'm just standing there with my bass.
Yeah.
I'm without a cigarette. And that's Dave in the sunglasses, you mean?
Yes, yeah.
John Lennon sunglasses.
That's it, yeah. I mean, look at that hair. I mean, that is actually fantastic. Looks like a proper rock and roll star. Well, all four of you do, actually. I mean, two of you in the really sharp dress suits and the other two sort of more casual, but again, you know, wearing the proper clothes and everything. I mean, you four were really, really good together. And, you know, and obviously now bringing it up to a little bit more up to date, reforming after 38 years. I mean, what was all that about?
I know, it's weird, really. I mean, it was one of those things. People kept asking me to put stuff on Facebook, pictures and stuff, and over the years. And so during lockdown, I kind of thought, you know, everyone had a lot of time on their hands, didn't they? So I put a page together and started putting things I had. And from that, people kept saying, why don't you get together? And I kept saying that, you know, Dave lives in Trinidad, Andy lives in Fiji. There's no way, you know. and then the song idea came about. So I actually reached out to everybody and said, what do you think, you know? And I was really quite surprised because, you know, some of us not really spoke to each other for a while.
Yeah.
And they said, yeah, if we can do it. And I wrote the first song, which was It's My Time, and kind of did my little bit in the kitchen and sent it out to them saying, right, this is the song, what do you think? And they all came back with their little bits on GarageBand app on iTunes.
Yeah.
And it sounded a mess, to be honest. And so I quickly wrote another Sunday Morning and kind of sent that out.
Yeah.
And that came back like a finished jigsaw puzzle. It was quite amazing how that just fitted together.
Of course, yeah.
And then we had I did a bit more things to It's My Time. Then I went into the studio with all these bits and basically put it together, and I tidied up It's My Time by kind of stripping it back to really bass drums and one guitar, and then built it back up again.
I see, yeah.
And we were really chuffed, actually. The sound was amazing.
Fantastic. Now, this is a silly question, but are the other two band members that are not obviously in the UK? I mean, obviously, no one sort of foresees this sort of tier 4, and we're not allowed to leave the country, and no one wants us going out of the country, and we're not allowed to land anywhere, etc., etc. Is there any chance, maybe in the very near future, obviously, you know, COVID-19 permitting and everything else, ever thought about touring again or getting back together and doing some live stuff?
To be honest, I can't imagine that. I think I'll probably do some more songs. Yeah. Writing more. Now I've kind of got my head into band mentality again, because I was solo for 12, 13 years.
Yeah.
I kind of got in my head into writing as a band would play. So I'm sure there'll be more songs, but in all honesty, I can't imagine us getting back together that way.
No.
It would be nice, but I can't imagine it.
Well, you never know. Never say never, as they say, really,
exactly.
Isn't it?
Well, I never thought we can do another song, so...
Well, that's it. I mean, you know, the music is obviously very important, and touring it obviously as important, but now, you know, because we've got Facebook and so much sort of social media stuff going around, and of course, you know, we've got all the Zoom video conferencing, you can do so much, and you don't even have to leave your front room.
Which we didn't.
Well, you didn't. You weren't allowed. No, absolutely. Now, I've been reading a little bit about yourself as a person, and someone actually, I can't remember who it was now, and I read somewhere that you were an alternative to Billy Bragg.
I know. Well, you know, when you're playing when I did kind of played on my own.
Yeah.
You know, I had music sort of still was in me, and I was writing songs and things.
Yeah.
And I suppose when you're there with an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
And you've still got a bit of attitude about you. I suppose you're always going to get that comparison, really.
Yeah.
So some of the songs I was writing were, I suppose, Billy Bragg type, without trying to be Billy Bragg. It was just I was playing and people sort of saying, "Blimey, this sounds a bit like Billy Bragg would do this song." So I suppose that's where that came from.
Well, that's a great compliment, though, because Billy Bragg has, in the past, you know, come out with some right crackers, you know, and really sort of strong music, which obviously I've taken the sorts of, you know, shall we say, the leeway of obviously having a look on Bandcamp, and obviously looking at a couple of your tunes that we've got on here as well. So there are really good tunes. Bear with me a second. I'm just going to scan through here, and we've got, I think, one here. here that I want to have a little snippet of, and this one I think is called, is it Perfect England?
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. How did I get hold of that one? Well, that's a different story for a different day, but it goes something like this. We'll just play a little snippet of it. I mean, it's catchy already, isn't it?
Yeah. I wrote this about a place that used to live there.
I've got to ask you now, though. Did you forget the first line of the?
Yeah. You know what? When I write a song, sometimes you have you obviously don't come out with the lyrics straight away unless you're very fortunate.
Yeah.
And the bit was in my head when I was walking the dog, and
as you do.
So that was the bit I remembered. So when I got home, I could actually do that bit. But then it became part of the song. But it was about a place in Worcestershire. I lived in a place in Worcestershire for about 9 years.
Okay.
It was a perfect English life type place.
Yeah.
Chocolate box, thatched cottages and all that. And it came out with the words and everything, and the song "Walking the Dog" to the, the paper shop. And I kind of, the words are all about that journey, going to the paper shop and back, and listening to the, cricket on the village green and all sort, and the horse walking by, and I kind of wrote it literally. As I was walking back, the words just came out really. But that little dib-dib-dib-dib at the beginning was remembering the tune.
That's fantastic, though. I mean, to put that in there as well, it's absolutely brilliant. And it reminds me a little of the Kinks, something the Kinks would do as well. And it really sort of resembles back to the sort of the late 60s, early 70s sort of style of music that we heard back then. And he sort of brought it back into, maybe the 21st century now. It's absolutely fantastic. It's an easygoing song as well on the ear. It's lovely. Really is a nice song. So, ladies and gentlemen, go and have a listen to that music. It's brilliant, really is. It really does catch your ear, and I enjoyed it. It's just great listening. Easy listening, which is sometimes what we want. Yeah,
I tend to be fortunate in being able to write catchy hooks. I don't know where that comes from. It's just something that's when I'm writing songs, it's got a little bit of a memorable hook. Which is always a good thing as well, isn't it, really?
Well, absolutely, yeah, definitely. And, when it comes to writing, I mean, obviously, I will say this each and every week, it might become boring for regular listeners, but I always tip my hat because, A, where does it come from? B, how do you do it? And C, why? How does it all knit together? I mean, for you personally, is it the tune first, or is it lyrics, or a bit of both?
It's a bit of both. I think sometimes you can be inspired by such different things. I remember years ago in Italy, I was walking through some English war graves, and I was shocked at some of the young ages, and a song called "Thank You" came out, and it was all about our debt of gratitude to these people. But the lyrics jumped first, whereas that the perfect English life, it was the tune. Tune came my head. So it can be a bit of both, really.
Of course,
sometimes you're very fortunate and you sit down and it all comes out. There's other times when you kind of have to spend ages on the lyrics because you don't think they're good enough, or and sometimes it changes. You might play it live and then you come back and you revisit the song and play it differently next time, or you add a few different lyrics or even a different part of the song.
Of course. And before COVID and everything, were you going out and playing live on a regular basis, or?
I mean, I've been on solo for about 12 to 13 years.
Yeah.
And 3 years ago, I just decided I would stop playing because it's difficult, especially this day and age now. And I don't blame pubs and clubs and whatever, but they like cover bands, and I've always written my own songs.
Yeah, of course.
And it just became a bit harder and harder to get gigs. And I thought, do you know what? I don't need to do this anymore.
No.
Still enjoy writing, still enjoy recording, but going out live and really trying to push the various people to put you on, because all they want to hear is Mr. Brightside or
you're right, yeah, you're definitely right.
I understand it. I understand that's what they want, but my thing was about doing my own stuff.
And I actually prefer that personally. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like a good cover, but I think, in a whole set, a whole evening, if you've got two covers, one in the first half, one in the second half, just to keep the audience on their toes, literally.
That's exactly what I used to do. I'd always throw in a few covers, but I just didn't want to be a cover act.
Absolutely, yeah. No, absolutely. There's plenty of great bands and artists out there that, do a lot of their own stuff. And they'll just sort of like, throw a curveball in there and, they'll do a jam, they'll do, they may do a Killers, they may do something like that. And they may even attempt a Queen or, I'm going to say the word, ABBA. What? Yeah. What? What's all that about? But no, for me, it's obviously about the original music. I love original music. It gets you. If it doesn't get you on the first play, it's definitely going to get you on the second play because there's so much in there. And for me, obviously being a radio DJ as well as obviously a mobile DJ as well, I have the best of both worlds. I can be out there, introduce a live act. And then I've got front row seat, I can hear it, see it, and, absorb it. And it's brilliant, absolutely fantastic. I love all of that. And I think, again, like I say, I always tip my hat to original music because I think, I'm not saying it's easy to cover a band or a song, but the lyrics are written for you. So you're halfway there already. You've just got to obviously try and copy or resemble the music, I suppose. As where original music, you've got obviously the tune that you've created, you've got the lyrics that you created, and it's your job to put those two things together and make something from that. So there's a lot more work, I think, involved in doing something that's original. So, next time people are out there, remember those things called pubs and clubs and things? Yes, we'll go there one day again. When you see someone up there playing something you've never heard of before, don't write it off. Absorb it, listen to it. If it's your sort of style of music, then honour what he's done or she's done, because at the end of the day, they put a lot of hard work into it.
That's where covers come from.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's there. So for you as original music, have you ever thought about coming back out?
Yeah, I probably end up doing it again, but because this has given me a bit of a kick, really. I've been quite delighted about the reaction, pardon the pun, to the songs. So. The creative juices are still there. And,
of course.
I keep writing, and I still do, and there isn't a day go by that I've not picked the guitar up and played something, and something might bounce off here or there, and I quickly get my phone and record that little bit, so I park it for another day, and
of course,
I'm sure I will. It wouldn't take long. It wouldn't take much to get me back out there.
Fantastic. I'll hold you to that. Because obviously we've got a great big announcement to make here at Target Radio, but not yet. We can't do it yet. I believe there's a major announcement that's going to happen on Christmas Day. So in between your mince pies and various alcoholic beverages and other things like that, if you get a chance to tune in anytime from 8 through till about 11:30 on the evening of Christmas Day, if you get a chance, everyone that is, just stick it on. I think it'll be on once an hour, every hour, the actual major news, because all we're going to say is it's huge what we're doing. Okay, that's all we can say at the moment, but I'm really looking forward to working with a lot of different artists. We're going to be doing a lot more with live music as well, and hopefully once the COVID-19 has gone, hopefully we'll be out there supporting live music, original music, and of course some of the covers as well. Why not? But yeah, we'll have to get you down. We'll have to get you down because we're quite central where we are now. We're going to be based in a little place called Bradford. You might have heard of it. So not a million miles away from yourself.
No, it's not.
No, indeed. So you'll have to pop down. I'll let you know all about it a bit later on in the year or at the end of the year. This sounds a long way off, though, actually, doesn't it? So just steering away from the music and obviously all the creative juices at the moment. Let's go on to something that's more topical. Christmas. Are you ready? Yeah. Have you got everything?
I think so. I mean, sadly, our son lives in London, so following yesterday's kind of announcement, it just put little bits of a damp squid on that, but yes, we're ready, and you just take life as it comes, and it's we'll still have a great time. We'll zoom a little bit, and but yeah, everything's done and dusted really, and just looking forward to. It's Friday, isn't it?
It is, yeah. This Friday coming, my goodness me. And obviously this is the last live show we're doing this year now, and it sounds a long way off, but we're back on the 10th, I think it is, of January next year. So I'm having a couple of weeks off now as well. So you're our last star guest of the year, 2020.
I'm very honoured, Sean. Thanks for not called you Sam.
Oh yeah, what was all that about?
You know what? I think I was listening to Sam and Dave, and whether you guys were playing it or not, and that's why I typed in Sam rather than Sean.
Oh, that was funny. I answered your question, and it was quite a long sort of answer of it. And I went, "Oh, by the way, it's Sean." Oh, that was so funny. That was. I've been called worse, honestly. I'll be honest with you. I've been called a lot worse there, Bruno.
Have a name like Bruno Gallone. See how many different name checks you get there.
Absolutely. Now, have I pronounced your surname correct? Is it Gallone?
It's Gallone.
Oh, Gallone. You got the E at the end with Gallone. Yeah. I'm Cook with an E, but I don't pronounce the E. But for my nickname is actually Cookie, so that's where Cookie come from. So there you go. We share something in common there. We've both got an E at the end of our name. Now, is that based in an Italian roots there?
Yeah, both parents were Italian. So okay. Yeah, my dad was from a place called Avellino, which is where Tony Soprano, he was from there, although he was fiction. My mum was from a little place about an hour and a half south of Rome. So
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And who actually got you into music in the first place? Who actually inspired you?
A quick story then. I'll tell you how that got in.
Yes, please.
I was there used to be a mod night every sort of 6 weeks in Burton on Trent. For some reason, it used to be organised by the Burton Liberals, but I don't know why. But we used to go to this place, and this is a true story. I went on the stage to go and ask for a song, and while the DJ was setting up, I just looked down and saw these mods dancing, and I just sort of said, wow, it'd be brilliant to be in a band playing in front of this. And he looked up and he just said, well, why don't you get one together? I went, well, when's the next mod night? He said 6 weeks. And I don't know, for a cocky 18-year-old, I just kind of went, all right then. And he says, what will you call yourself? So I said, I don't know, the Internal Envelopes. And he announced it. He kind of said that at the next one we've got this fantastic surprise, the Burton's first mod band, and I remember walking down the stairs thinking, do you know what? I don't play an instrument. I've never sung in public apart from Happy Birthday, and what am I going to do here? And I kind of I knew this drummer who was used to be in a punk band. Went up to Trev and I said, do you want to be in a band, Trev? Which he kind of says, yeah, okay, you know. And I didn't tell him I couldn't play anything, but we then mustered between us 2 other people, and within 6 weeks we played in front of that audience as Reaction, 13th of December 1980.
Wow.
And then a year later, after 2 days, we supported the Jam.
Now that is an absolute rag to riches story, isn't it? Really, it's absolutely phenomenal. And how long did it take to master the bass, or to pick up the bass at least?
The first gig, and this is honestly the truth, on my amp, there was still the book on how to play the bass, and I'd actually got my plectrum. There was a little hole in the plectrum with a little thread tied around my arm, my wrist. Sorry, because I was so nervous.
Yeah.
In between songs, I'd go back to see where my fingers have got to go and everything, and that was true. I mean, I can't imagine how we went down a storm, but I mean, we must have not sounded that great, in fairness. But yeah, then it just became, you played it because that was what I played. So,
that is a fantastic story, and true, ladies and gentlemen, as well. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Do you remember what you played?
What
songs did you play?
Oh yeah, we did a few. We did mainly covers, but we also did 6 of our own in that. Can you believe it? In that short period of time, I used to write poems, and I converted poems into songs. So we did things like In the City. We did the Teen Beats, Can't Control Myself. I remember we did Help by the Beatles. I can't think some other, but we kind of we mustered a whole set together of kind of mod songs, and unbelievable. Like I said, went down. We 300 people our very first gig, which is bizarre.
Wow, that is a fantastic story. Brilliant.
I was reading some stuff, and about 2 months later, I mean, just goes to show you what I was like as an 18-year-old. We'd then done these 2 gigs, and I was writing to the Jam then to try and get a gig.
Oh my goodness me! I suppose you was writing via the fan club with Nicky Weller at the helm there.
Now I was writing to John Weller. I was writing to the dad, you know, because
Oh,
that's.
yeah.
Did you read how we got the gig? I don't know if you. I don't know how much time you've got left.
No, we're okay. We're okay. Yeah, go carry on.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
right.
really interesting.
I mean, how we got the gig, it was, I mean, I'd written lots of times and I'd sent bits of tapes and stuff like that, but I actually rung Polydor Records and kind of with this very mock-me fake accent said I was John Weller's brother, and I'm going to the wedding. There was obviously no wedding. Going to the wedding on Sunday, and I've lost his number, and weirdly, Polydor Records gave me John Weller's phone number. Yeah, so I phoned John Weller, and Paul Weller answered the phone, and then they go, "Oh, could I speak to your dad, please?" And me and him spoke, and I pretended we'd spoke at Leicester de Montfort Hall about my band and his band getting together. And weirdly, you know, it kind of, after a couple of months, we then got the gig.
Oh, that is absolutely fantastic. Well, you're a little starstruck, obviously, you know, speaking to Paul Weller and then obviously meeting him a little later. Were you a bit starstruck with that?
No, do you know what? I was one of these guys that, and there was a few mods who used to, certainly Jam fans, used to try and go to some of the sound checks because the Jam used to let people into the sound check.
That's right, yeah.
And when I first used to go, I mean, I was going to the Jam from 1977, but when we used to go at first, there was only like 2 or 3 people who used to go to these sound checks, and eventually they built up. But a lot of the times, the Jam would come down on off the stage and chat to the people.
That's right, yeah.
Good, and I mean, a couple of the times I didn't even have a ticket. I'd go all the way to Leicester, de Montfort Hall, and I ended up being as a guest on for Bruce Foxton or something when, you know, they heard they didn't have a ticket. So I suppose you kind of got to, I didn't know the Jam, if you know what I mean, but you kind of got to know them in that you didn't feel so starstruck when you did actually.
Of course, yeah.
And they were really nice, to be honest. I mean, they really, honestly, they treated us so respectfully as another band, and John Weller was fabulous. He was amazing. I think we were going to get 40 quid, and he gave us 50 quid because he thought we did okay.
Oh, there's an amazing story about John and Rick Buckler coming back after what was it? They were doing some painting or something in London town, and apparently they were going back in Rick's new car, not a brand new car, it was just a car, just recently passed his test, and it hit something like a bollard or something, and they rolled the car. Anyway, John got out and Rick got out, and apparently Rick was covered head to toe in this red substance. John absolutely panicked and said, "Rick, you're all right, you're bleeding from your head or something," or words to that effect in the classic John Weller sort of like lots of bleeps. And apparently it was a tin of red paint. Rick told me that. Rick told me that story, and again, Rick is such a lovely fella. Yeah, and I think it was actually Rick's idea to bring people in from the cold, actually, because when they were doing some sound checks, as you quite rightly said, they let the audience in early so they can watch them sound check and get them in from the cold, and it just sort of manifested itself, like you say, just half a dozen people, then it's 50, 100, and then so on and so forth, and people got there 2-3 hours early just to see them sound check before the actual concert. So, the Jam were all about the people.
They were, most definitely. And a quick story on Rick is that when we supported him, he showed me and the drummer Mark some photos that he'd been taking because he'd been doing some amateur photography.
Yeah.
And he came, "What do you think to these guys?" And we were going through them, and we chose what we thought was the best one, and that became the front cover of the single for the Absolute Beginners.
Oh, that is fantastic! Yeah. How about that?
Yeah. I did remind him of that about 3 or 4 years ago when I went to a talk from him, and he kind of remembers that he was showing these photos. But I think it was from they were doing a gig in Leicester, and it was from the hotel room or something. They took these pictures of the house tops and everything and chimneys.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I remember the picture, actually. I think I've got that on a 7-inch vinyl. For ladies and gentlemen that don't know what a vinyl is, it's a record, and it's got 2 songs, usually, one either side, and there's a hole in the middle, and usually it comes in a black colour, but sometimes you're lucky and get a different colour piece of vinyl as well, but I haven't bought vinyl for years. I get given lots of vinyl. I have got a deck here somewhere, sorry, a record player. I can see it here, actually. It's over there. There it is. I haven't connected it up yet.
You have to, because we've been appearing on a few compilations recently, and I'm going to be there's a heavy soul records. They do a magazine, and they're actually going to be putting one of our new songs on a vinyl single, which is going to be given with one of the issues. I think it's not the next issue, the issue after.
Oh, well, that's fantastic news. That is
Yeah.
brilliant for you as a band as well. I mean, because obviously you're in four corners of the world almost now, and
Yeah.
so talk about your bandmates then. So obviously we just briefly mentioned obviously from the picture and everything. So
Yeah.
who is in the band? Obviously yourself as a lead singer and bass player, aren't you?
Yeah, and then you've got Dave, who was the one with the hair and the glasses. Dave joined the Fleet Air Arm in the end. He was flying helicopters for absolutely years and years and years.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, Andy, who was he went on a bit of a tour around the world a bit, and then ended up in Fiji teaching windsurfing and that sort of thing. And he's still in Fiji now.
Wow.
And drummer, he's kind of. It doesn't do a lot, but he went to Scotland for absolutely ages and ages, but he's kind of back around the Burton Derby area now. So, everyone's doing all different things, not always music related, but...
and what about yourself? I mean, obviously, apart from the music, what else do you do?
I'm in the toy industry, so I'm with a company who are the people that make the Rubik's Cube. And
oh, my goodness me!
Yeah.
And can you do the Rubik's Cube?
Yeah, no, I can't do it.
I'll get one side and that's enough. I'll just hold it in such a way that, I've done it.
Yeah.
I think I've only ever done it twice in my whole lifetime. No idea how I've done it.
2 more times than I've ever done it. So
Yeah, I was a lot younger there. I used to enjoy doing the snake, actually. I don't know if your company was...
still do it.
Do you remember the snake? Oh, it's fantastic. I used to love putting it into the ball. That was the easy one to do, but I used to be able to do that in under 10 seconds at one time, but I probably couldn't do it in 10 weeks now. Oh, that is fantastic. So you've all done other things apart from music, but musically you've got back together in a some sort of shape, form or fashion, and obviously recorded some fine and great music, and more to come next year. I'm looking forward to that. Looking really forward to that. So let us know as soon as obviously you've got everything sort of mastered down. Now, who does all of your engineering? Who does all your engineering?
Who does it? Well, there's a guy in Worcester, because like I said, I lived in Worcester for about 9 years.
Yeah.
And the studio's called Maybe Studios, and it's owned by a guy called Peter May, and me and him just kind of click, really. We kind of understand the sound. He'll come out with some ideas, and we, and there's some I do like, some I don't, and but we kind of put it together, and we've worked together for quite a while, really, because I did most of my solo stuff with him as well.
Okay.
So when all the band was sending all their stuff, I was sending it to him and saying, can you do anything putting these together so all the timings were right and everything? And he's a magician, really, and be able to do things like that.
Oh, that's fantastic. And obviously, clicking with him, as you're saying, you're learning yourself as well, I suppose, really watching what he does. That is fantastic. And have you thought about, because I've been talking to a lot of bands, obviously, during the pandemic, and they've been doing weird and wacky things, going live, things like that. Have you thought about maybe trying to put a video together for your next song or one of the songs coming up?
We'll definitely do that. It's all about timings, really, because obviously with Andy in Fiji, I ask Andy to say, that guitar bit doesn't quite work, and it's 3-4 days before he comes back, because of not just time difference, because of the bad signal over in Fiji as well, So we will definitely do something like that. It's just about putting it together.
Indeed, I think that'd be good as well, because obviously now with sound and vision, being back on sort of like on everyone's target. I mean, obviously, I think it was with MTV, early 80s, the video was selling more than the actual song, back in the day. And I think, to some extent, I think the video has sort of helped sell music as well again. Because obviously, people can't get out, people can't see guys playing live for whatever the reason. Obviously, this, in regards to the COVID, we know we can't go out. But obviously, for your reason, obviously, it's going to be hard for everyone to sort of meet up down in Nag's Head or wherever, because obviously, we're all in different places. So, a video might be the next best thing to see you guys sort of like jamming together, even though you're not actually together.
Yeah, most definitely. I think it's got to be the way, hasn't it, really?
I think so, yeah, absolutely. That would be fantastic, though. I mean, I don't know, could you squeeze into your mod suit still?
You know what, I find after years and years and years, I've finally got back into large now, because I've been a vegan for a year now.
Oh, right.
And so I used to bemoan about Fred Perry's, that all those old mods now are in extra large Fred Perry's or even bigger than that. And so I'm back into some sensible gear. I think I'm into 34 trousers for the first time in 25 years.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Hang on. I think we forgot the social distancing crowd for that one. There they are. Oh, my goodness me. I've got Fred Perry's, obviously, you know, and I find that I have to undo the top button.
I've got back to top buttons now. It's probably, but only because, you know, you just lose a bit of weight, and I think, yeah, I'll probably be okay for a video now.
Brilliant, lovely. Because they say TV puts a few pounds on, don't they? I'm not saying anything more than that. I'm going to keep it sensible and certainly not insult my guests. So obviously we've spoken a lot about the Jam, but obviously you've worked with the Secret Affair, Lambrettas as well. So how were them two, you know, obviously warming up for these guys as well? Because not as big as the Jam, but nearly there, weren't they? They were nearly there.
Yeah, the Lambrettas were probably one of the best because it was part of a mod Ordea, and it was actually at the London Rainbow. And that was such an iconic stage. And so playing that gig was, I mean, I nearly went on my hands and knees to touch the floor because the Rolling Stones had played there, the Jam had played there,
yes,
played there. Even Thin Lizzy had done their Live and Dangerous thing from there. It was such a massive stage. So that was great. Secret Fair, that was great too. That was in where was it? Gold Diggers, and then we did. Purple Hearts was actually in London. That was, you know, again, it was great to be part of. That was amazing. The one band I know that you had Chris Pope on the other week. The band I always wish we'd supported was the Chords, because I love the Chords, and it was the one. There was one regret, it was not having supported the Chords. You know?
Well, do you know something? I mean, obviously, as a solo artist, never say never.
I know.
Because I could make that happen. That's not a problem at all.
As a solo, I've been lucky because I've actually supported from the Jam.
Yes.
Dr. Feelgood twice, and Toya and Christian. So I've done a lot as a solo artist because it is a lot easier to be a support as a solo artist because you just plug in and play, don't you, really?
Of course you do, yeah. And I mean, you've got you to rely on and nobody else as well. Yeah, you know, so you know, maybe a roadie. You might need a roadie. You never know. But no, it's just generally when you're a solo artist, that's it. It's you and your guitar and you know, your pages of songs and stuff like that. That's it. You know. Yeah. I know quite a lot of solo artists, and I say to them, you know, ever thought about going into a band? Nah. You know, straight away, nah. Then you ask a band member, you know, I love being in a band. I love the fact that, you know, you could sort of, not saying hide, but you could hide certain attributes of your performance in amongst the band. So, you know, each their own, I suppose.
I couldn't have imagined playing in a band again, because obviously it's been a long time. So when we did do this, you know, these two songs, it was, like I said to you earlier, you had to mentally write for a band again, because it's a different way, you know. Although it's a song's a song, you know, I'm thinking, right, the drums here, what the bass would sound like, and although, you know, obviously did their own thing, you know, and it wasn't me just saying, I want you to play this, that, and the other. I suppose on my own, I could hear how I wanted to play, so I'd play the guitar in a different way, so I'd play it as if it had a bit more rhythm, so it was the bass and the guitar at the same time. But you know, when you're in a band, you've got the luxury of just playing your thing, really.
Absolutely. And I'm just really surprised, obviously, because I'm, you know, whilst we're talking, obviously, I'm Googling loads of things about you and obviously the band and everything. And I've just got up to the second page, and our little promo video I put together is actually on the second page. Look at that! Fantastic. And I only put that out on, I think it was Wednesday, actually, I think. So it hasn't had a huge run, and bang, we're up there on the second page. Fantastic. Now, what's this I saw? Super Rams. Is that anything to do with you at all?
Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm a big Derby County fan. And what I kind of did, do you know what? I was in the studio and I'd done about 10 songs with Peter at the Maybe Studios. And then when he was just mixing some stuff, I was just playing this song, and he says, "Oh, what's that? We didn't record that one." I went, "Oh no, it's just a song about Derby that I wrote." "Oh, do you want to do it? We've got half an hour." I went, "Oh, do you know what? Yeah, but just for me." So I did this song, the Derby County song, and then I put it out on Facebook saying, "What do you think?" And Derby County fans can be brutal, really. But some liked it, some hated it. But it had about 3,000 listens, and then suddenly Radio Derby were going, "Whoa, what's this?" And they kind of got me in, and how we had a chat about it. But what stemmed from that is that I then got people asking me to write one for the ladies Derby, because they said there's never been a song for a ladies football team.
Oh right, no, of course.
So I actually wrote, which they run out to actually. It's called "We Are the U-Rams Calling," and it's they run out to this song. I wrote this song, and yeah, it's great. They play it as a guy. They play it if they win as well.
Wow.
So,
that is fantastic. What an achievement. This one, you mean?
Yeah.
Is it going to play? No, it's not going to play, you bugger. Oh, I was looking forward to try and play that. Hang on, I'm just going to try and do something here. Hang on. I'm looking. I was supposed to play there, and it weren't going to play. Oh, for goodness sake. I'll have to go onto this site here now and see if I can do it from here. Is this it? It could be it. Oh, come on. You've got to play for me. You've got to play it. No, it's not going to know. Oh, never mind. But that is fantastic.
I kind of tried to write one that wasn't a normal. Most songs are a certain beat, but I wanted something that was a bit different for the U-Rams. And it's great, the ladies have got a song, and I don't think there's any other ladies that have got them. I mean, I might be wrong, but they've actually got their own song, which I'm very, very proud of.
That is good.
The full Derby team.
Absolutely. So it's called We Are the Derby. I've got We Are the Derby Super Rams. That's not the one, though.
No, that's the one for Derby. The actual main that didn't really, it's had a lot of views and a lot of.
There we go. I've got that one. So that was back in 2017, and.
We are the boys in black and white, full of spirit, pride and fight.
I love the fact that you've put it as a sort of a karaoke version, so we can sing along to it. That's enough of that, because we might upset people that are not Derby fans. I think they beat Arsenal, actually, so I'm not. Oh my goodness me. I'm just trying to find the other one now, because I really want to hear it. Hang on, is it on there? Ah, here we go. I might be able to play a little preview of this one. Here we go. Let's see if it'll play here.
And you'll hear us. It's slightly different from a normal football song.
Do you know, if you take some of the lyrics away from that, the music itself is very mod related again, isn't it?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, you can see my roots there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. A little bit of R&B going on in there. It really is. Like that, actually.
Try to make it not sound like a normal football song, really.
Absolutely. Even though you've got the sort of crowd at the beginning of it, which most sorts of...
token crowd.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you remember crowds, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, that's fantastic. I just wanted to explore that a little bit, because obviously being multi-talented like yourself, I mean, is there something you wouldn't do?
I wouldn't do a Christmas song, Sean.
Oh, that's terrible. Terrible.
Or Eurovision.
Neil Point. Yeah, the embarrassment of that. Actually, are we allowed in the Eurovision next year? I don't know.
You know what? Who knows? We're still in Europe, though. As in the continent of Europe. People tend to think that, even though we're out of Europe as in there, we're still in Europe. Yeah,
absolutely. So we're still sort of like, we're tagging along somewhere there, aren't we? We've got a little bit of water between us and France, who really love us. I'll say no more than that. Oh, my goodness me. So you wouldn't do a Christmas song. Why? Why wouldn't you do a Christmas song?
I don't know. I think that's for people like yourself, and... yeah, I mean, there's some good enough. Do you know, there's none of the real old ones. You know, when I was younger, obviously the Christmas song was a big thing, you know, Wizard and all that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love Bing Crosby. I thought, what a voice that man has. And then when he teamed up with David Bowie, that is actually one of my most favourite songs of all time when it comes to Christmas. Absolutely love the video, love the song, and I love the lyrics, and I just love the way they perform it together. You know, it just sends shivers down my spine. I don't know why. It's just one of those songs, I suppose.
It's funny, you know, I supported Roy Wood in it was July, but he still did Wish It Could Be Christmas.
Oh, my God.
I
Oh, that is absolutely fantastic. Believe it or not, I've got Chris Rea coming up very shortly. We're driving home for Christmas. Again, one of my... it's a great song. You wouldn't think Chris Rea would do something like that, but there it is. It's done, and I think it's a nice song. It's subtle. It's not all jingly-jangly. It's something that we all do. Well, maybe not this year.
Yeah, I'm going to say Mike's changed his plans this year.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not allowed to drive home for Christmas. You've got to stay put where you are. So, obviously, with the COVID thing and everything else, I mean, how has sort of like life been for you this year?
Do you know what? Obviously, because of work, my real job, that's kind of been okay because of you know, the company I work for do mainly games, and also we do outdoor stuff as well. And they're the two things everybody's wanted during lockdown. You know, if they weren't playing board games, they were wanted to buy spas and swimming pools. So, you know, the company I work for done incredibly well.
Of course, yeah.
But you know, as individuals, you know, me and my wife, you get through all your box sets and whatever. We've watched a lot of the Scandinavian, Norwegian, and Icelandic dramas and stuff.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
We've watched all the films we've ever wanted to watch. You know, so I think we've kind of been fortunate, really. We get on as well. We've been married a long time, so we're married 33 years.
Oh,
so,
that's fantastic. Hang on, they're coming back again. They said you deserve that. That's not the start of one of your songs, by the way. Oh, my goodness. You can use that if you like. I don't mind. That's great. And I believe we've got to say one more thank you to the good lady wife at home as well, because she was the one that inspirationally sort of threw the guitar back at you. Is that right?
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, I really had packed it in completely.
Yeah.
12 years ago, 13, like I said, she bought me a guitar for Christmas, and I kind of wrote a song and I started playing again. And full of my sister kind of said to me, will you write a song for, it was her husband's 50th birthday.
Okay.
And I wrote a song which was called Forever 18. And it's really weird because it sounded like a football song. And it was my first dip into that because I kind of thought, you know, it sounds like a football song. And changed the lyrics to Forever England. And when I did Forever England, I sent it to loads of people saying, do you want to record this? And people, I got great replies from like Peter Kay and Kasabian.
Oh my goodness me, that's fantastic.
Really like people, we don't want to do one. And then suddenly it was on the radio on BBC 5. BBC 5 Live played it.
Yeah,
and in fact they phoned me to say they were going to play it. And I said, but who is it? Who's recording it? I said, no, it's just you. I went, yeah, but that's not meant for the radio. And I ended up being on TV twice with it, and
wow,
it got me back into playing. So from that, although you know it was another football song, but that got me into playing as a solo, and so I then started writing again. So it's certainly down to Katrina that I did start playing again.
Oh, that is fantastic. So obviously, you know, the talent is there, and obviously your good lady wife obviously saw that and thought, you know, don't throw it away, don't give it up, and hence why she went out and sort of bought the guitar and sort of gave it to you as a present. Did you know what it was when you were unwrapping it?
Yeah, I had a good guess, actually. Yeah.
It was either that or one of those garden blower vac things, wasn't it? Similar shape, similar size.
No, it would have definitely not been one of those.
No. Oh, fantastic. So you play the bass, and what else do you play?
Well, I played the guitar because I learned to play the guitar as well, but I played the keyboard. I could do a little bit of drums as well.
Oh, so wow.
Because of the way I played bass, I suppose the drumming bit came from that a bit. You could, you know, it's rhythms that you play.
Yeah.
So you kind of teach yourself. I mean, I'm not the best at any of them, but I obviously can hold my own with the guitar and sort of certainly with the bass guitar as well. But keyboard, it's good because you can write things and...
Yes, of course, yeah. because you can find extra chords.
Enjoy music in general, really.
Indeed. And now, obviously, it's not unheard of. Obviously, you know, we've got likes of Sting and Mark King and all of that from Level 42, but you do sing and play bass at the same time. Do you find that easy? Is it natural, or do you find that a challenge when you're doing it?
Well, you got to remember that's how I learned, because you know, I'd never played an instrument, and you know, when, like I said, when I put the band together, Reaction, I went into the music done by an instrument, or by something, and I saw this guy in a corner with 4 strings and playing this thing with one finger. And I thought, I've got to get one of those, whatever it is. It looks easier than 6 strings. So that's how I became the bass player, really, of the band.
Wow.
And because I learnt to be in a band singing and playing the bass at the same time, I suppose it accidentally became quite natural to me.
Oh, that's fantastic, that is. And obviously, you know, you're a master of your craft in regards to that, because obviously it's took you places, you know. And, you know, a break of, 38 years, and you've got the band back together. I mean, that's testimony itself. I mean, all that water's gone under the bridge. I mean, we're not talking just a couple of years or 5 years like some bands that, you know, they break up and get back together. 38 years, that's another lifetime, isn't it, sometimes?
And we did fall out, you know. I mean, we did one of these normal musical differences. 2 of us wanted something else, 2 of us wanted something else. But we were still friends, you know. I mean, and I think that over the years that, you know, Andy, he was in another band who did really well as well, and Mark carried on playing, but we still, you know, you still respected each other, and I think that, you know, whenever we bumped into each other, we all had fond memories, even if we weren't playing together, you know. And,
yeah, of course, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's nice that you've stayed and remained friends. I mean, obviously, everyone bickers from time to time, you know, but, you know, I never bicker with the wife, I'll be honest with you. We never, ever have a bad word. And I'll be honest with you, I never win one anyway, so what's the point? There we go. A note for everyone there, guys, don't argue with the good lady wife at home, because you'll never win. What's the point? So just move on, accept that you've got to do the dishes, or you've got to hoover up, or you've got to do something that she's asked you to do. Just go and do it, for goodness sake. A quiet life is much better than one of these wild, raging ladies screaming at you, because you won't win. Honestly, you just won't win that argument. Oh my goodness me. So it's obviously home time for everyone this year. I mean, obviously I always ask, you know, at this time of year, what do you normally do for Christmas? So I will ask the question, what do you normally do at Christmas? Obviously we didn't have COVID. Is it a large family or a small gathering?
Yeah, I mean, my daughter and her partner, and my son and his wife, and my wife's parents as well. So there's normally about 8 of us together. Yeah. So yeah, I suppose it's a nice size, and it's just a shame at the moment, you know. But you just have to do what you've got to do, really. So
absolutely.
There'll still be 6 of us together.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And do you go in for all this traditional sort of turkey and things like that, or?
Go for what? Sorry.
Do you do the turkey or?
Yeah. I mean, although when I was younger, it was, you know, lasagna was a big part of our Italian.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
So,
obviously being a vegan, I don't eat turkey now. So,
no, of course not. No, and I didn't mean to obviously say that, you know, you should. Obviously. So what's your alternative then this year? What would it be?
Well, my daughter, because my daughter's vegan, she kind of inspired me into being a vegan, really. So she's going to be making ours. So there's 3 of us that are vegan, and there's 3 of them that are meat eaters.
Oh my goodness me, that's going to be fun. And just quickly, I just want to touch on that then. So over in Italy, what's their traditional meal? Is it the lasagna at Christmas?
Well, that's what we did. I mean, I don't, you know, my mum came from quite a very small village, and so when they they met over here, my mum tried to keep certain things Italian, but a lot of things English. So you know, we'd start off with like an antipasta starter, and then we'd have you know, a lasagna. Then we'd probably have chicken, and then we'd have salad, and then we'd have some desserts. It used to be quite a big, a lot of courses, but lasagna used to be the thing. We always used to look forward to my mum's homemade lasagna. We'd make her own pasta on Christmas Eve and lay it all out and ready to put together on Christmas Day.
Absolutely. My wife makes a lovely lasagna. Unfortunately, she doesn't make the pasta from scratch, but she will always buy fresh pasta. So she's nearly there. I wouldn't have a clue how to make pasta. Can you do it? Can you make pasta?
Yeah, but
Wow.
do you know what? Most top restaurants they use packet anyway, so
That's
it's
true.
as good as it. Yeah,
Absolutely, I
you
do
want
love
to be a
it.
purist, but there are a lot of Italians don't make their own pasta.
Oh right, okie dokie. Unless obviously you're Gordon Ramsay or something like that. But well, I'm going to say now, thank you ever so much indeed for joining us this
Thank
evening.
you.
It's been
Sean,
absolutely fantastic.
Playing the songs, I'm really chuffed that you have been, and like I said, I do listen. I'm not just saying that. I do listen to Target Radio. I have it on it.
Well, that's another check I've got to send you now, for goodness sake. Thank you very much indeed. No, I really appreciate that. And obviously, spread the word, because obviously, as I said,
Absolutely.
Christmas Day, there is going to be, it's not all about us, obviously, but there is going to be a major announcement about Target Radio and the history of Target Radio, where we're going with it, and etc. And it is big news. It's great for the unsigned artist band, and signed ones as well, no problems at all. And it's not all about the mod movement. It's about all the movements, when it comes to the, unsigned bands. I mean, obviously, you've had a degree of great luck in your past. Not every band has, and not every band, continues. I mean, some of them don't even last, a year. And look what you've done in a year. My goodness me, you've done so much in such a short space of time. And then getting back into the sort of music scene again after many, many years away from it, it's refreshing. It's brilliant to hear, these stories from you. And hopefully it'll inspire another young musician that's out there now listening. So my last question really I would like to ask you is, if there is, a band out there just starting out, or, a solo artist out there, what sort of a practical advice would you give them?
I mean, definitely my advice would be to, keep that creative process going, keep writing, but to be really persistent. Don't feel embarrassed to ask people for a gig. I mean, I back then when I was 18, and I kind of still did it now, I would go for everybody. I'd finding their email addresses, finding their managements, and just saying, just give us 20 minutes. That's all I want, 20 minutes, and out of the every 20 or every 30 you get a bite.
Yes.
And sometimes they don't have to have heard of you. You just have to be persistent. If you really believe it, you just have to be very, very persistent. Even if you're turning up at people's sound checks, or turning up at a pub with your actual guitar and saying, I'll audition for you now, I'll play you a couple of songs. And it's kind of that attitude, really, that you just try for the next thing every single time and keep honing your craft.
That's great advice, and I would say ditto to that as well. And obviously, if they're sending out their material and things like that, how would you proceed with that? I don't know if you've done that yourself in the past?
Yeah, no, I always did it, because that's what we used to do initially, But like with my salesman training, you follow these up. You don't just send it and hope. You send it and phone, you send it and you keep following things up.
Of course.
The more you share your music, the more chance you get, especially nowadays with Spotify and all that. You can be dropping a link to so many people, and it just needs one person to listen to it, and they go, hey, listen to this, and that's kind of what it's about, really. It's the more people that get to hear your music, and I mean share it everywhere, from not just the UK, but Asia and Canada and everything, and get people to play your songs, and that's what it's all about.
Oh yeah, totally agree. I mean, obviously that's why I'll be honest with that. I think that's why Target Radio sort of manifested itself from what I was going to do with like the radio station. I decided then, I thought, right, the late great John Peel gave me that sort of oomph to do this. He had 2 hours, I think 5 nights a week, where he just broke brand new bands and artists, and I just wanted to carry that sort of legacy forward in regards to him, in regards to sort of like fresh new music that's out there, and get that played. And I'm inundated. I'm absolutely snowed under to I don't know, I must have 40-50 emails a week of fresh brand new music, and it's impossible for one person to go through all of that and find the great ones, and what is a great one? You need a panel. You need many, many, many pairs of ears to listen to this music. And so far, so good. There's so much great stuff out there. You just got to find it. And there's so many great artists out there just waiting for that discovery. And like you say, just go forward. Keep going forward, and and basically, wherever you sent it, chase it, and then chase it some more. And I totally agree with you, Bruno. It's absolutely fantastic talking to you.
No, it's been a pleasure.
Well, I'll be honest with you. You've got to be the best guest we've had on tonight.
Oh, thank you.
You're the only guest we've had on tonight, but you've been absolutely... I'm only joking. You've been absolutely fabulous. And give my regards, obviously, to the good lady wife who obviously bought you that guitar and got you back into it, first and foremost. And obviously, when you get a chance to catch up with the rest of the guys all over the world, say hi from me, and make sure they're tuning in every day. And don't forget, try and tune in on Christmas Day sometime during the course of the day. I think it's going to be on the hour or every couple of hours. We'll put that announcement in there, and just to let everyone know, it's going to be huge. Well, huge-ish, if that's a word. But for now, how do we find you? Where are you on all of the social media sites? Where can we find your lovely yourself?
Type in Bruno Gallone and you'll find something, won't you? So whether I'm on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, and certainly there's a Facebook page of Reaction, which is worth a read. There's lots of memorabilia I keep putting up there. I've still got lots more. Brilliant. And lots of pictures and clippings. So yeah, come and find me there. It'd be great. And
I'll tell you what, that is a good read, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good site. I joined it many, many months ago when I first come across it, and I thought, I remember these guys, only very vaguely, to be honest with you, but the memories, that is the thing. It's all the memories, and it comes flooding back, and you start going down this little time tunnel of, emotion. It's fantastic, absolutely brilliant, and it's nice to see all of these, like you say, these clip-ins and, flyers that you've come across as well. Fantastic, and they've stood the test of time as well, so absolutely fantastic stuff on there. It's brilliant. Music is great, and looking forward to next year, and hopefully, we'll keep in contact, and obviously we might be able to make a little dream come true in regards to the Quads.
Brilliant. Wow, look forward to that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'll have a chat with Chris for you on your behalf and see what we can muster up together for you as well. So, you never know, you might even be a guest bass guitarist or something on one of their, previous hits, or maybe on one of their new ones. Who knows? Who knows? I can't speak on behalf of Chris, but I'm sure he's a willing and able person. He's a really nice fella, so I'll have a chat for you. Anyway, for now, have a great Christmas, Bruno, and we'll catch up in the new year, no doubt, and I will definitely chat with Chris Pope as well for you.
Brilliant.
All right. For now then, ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to say thank you very much to our very special guest this evening. He is Bruno Gallone. Yes, I got his name right. Woohoo! And I think, Bruno, you need one of these, my friend. Have a great Christmas. Have a great New Year. Keep safe, my friend. Keep washing your hands and sanitising and all the other bits and pieces that you have to do at the moment. And we'll get through this all together.
Fabulous. All the best, Sean.
And yourself. And here they are, as a social distancing lot. They've come back. Oh, there he is. And thank you very much indeed. One more time to Bruno Gallone. And just going to hang up on him now. There he is. And there he's gone. Fantastic. What a great, great guest. And we overrun so much, but I don't care. It's great to talk to really fascinating human beings, and he is definitely one of those, one of the luckiest ones as well. My goodness me, who knew within a year he was supporting the likes of the Lambrettas, Purple Hearts, and of course, The Jam. Louis Armstrong.
Please, please.
Is that you, Santa Claus?
Please. Say that's you. Santa Claus.
And I'd just like to say thank you very much indeed for joining us this evening. You've been a wonderful audience. Oh, shut the door, it's blooming cold.
Oh, cookie.
Yes.
You really love that cookie.
Thank you.
So after that one cookie, me make 2, then 3, then 4.
Oh, yeah.
Cookie, me no longer just a rookie. Cause once me ate one
Goodbye.
Oh, is it time to go?
Time to run.
So long, farewell.
Yes.
I'll be
Okay.
tonight.
It's goodbye from me. And it's goodbye from me again. Have a wonderful Christmas, guys. And don't forget, I'm back on Christmas Day morning with some fantastic news.
Bang bump goes the beat.
Don't you dare miss it. 8 through till 10.
The nice time band's come to start off the tree.
And coming up after me, for the last time,
Grandad up and
for this month,
have tea on.
it's the guest list. Are you on the guest list?
Help the fat gentle
What do you mean, no?
take off his tie.
Well, I'm sure he'll let you.
And eat a marmalade pie. Sit down.
Have a great Christmas, whatever you're up to, and we'll see you for live shows.
Look at the eyes of the night.
next year now. And we're back on the 10th of January. Put it in your diary. And we've got Mark McLaren from The Sonics. And he's got some very special news of his own. That's Mark McLaren, lead singer of The Sonics. Next time, the 10th of January 2021. Stay safe out there. Look after yourselves. And of course, each other. Sanitize, wear your face mask, and leave a little bit of space for the person next to you. We'll see you soon. Take care. Ta-da. And we're back, yes. And what did you think of that for an interview? Wasn't it great? We found out so much. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for joining us for the Target Radio podcast. I am your pod father. That is me, Cookie. Don't forget to rate us on iTunes if you can, please. If you think we deserve it, 5 stars, please. It does help with the future of Target Radio. Check out all of our great shows here on Target Radio. And as I say, please, please, please support local artists and the Unsigned Band. Until next time, thank you very much indeed. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.